gentlemen, what's happening, Bulls? Happy Sunday. How are you? There's a lot going on in crypto. Retail's not here yet, but so this is the time that you need to be locked in. For me personally, it's a bit of a wrestle getting me as heavily involved as I have come. You know, everything in life, it comes in waves, and you struggle with discipline because you know that discipline is the most important thing there is, not motivation, but discipline is the hardest skill to maximize. And that's the thing where you want to be making videos flat stick and looking at the crypto market. But it depends on your portfolio as well, as you've noticed. So it depends on how your portfolio is playing or where you're allocated will determine how involved you get in the market. And that's what I've noticed as well. It's just like you're fighting this urge. So like, for example, I have a lot of spot bags that have been accrued or accumulated like over the last, even through that Christmas period and then through this recent period. So some of them are coming back, some of them are coming up into the green now. And then you sort of waiting, you know. Obviously a lot of the money is in those coins that have been just dormant, down or flat, or, you know, recently accumulated. And so as they're sort of coming, you sort of start, you know, taking the money off the top, skimming the cream, so to speak. You get a bit more extra cash and you get more available to trade. Anyways, what we're going to do, like we usually do, and we will be making this more common, I promise, eventually, but I'm moving house at the moment. Everything is moved but this office. So I just got to get all the, you know what it's like moving house. It's a big move. I've got so much shit, you know, big house, big amount of shit. So it's all unpacking, garage, boxes, all that sort of stuff. There's no better time to go through and throw out all the old shit and sort everything out than when you move. So that's what I'm doing. But for now, we've got this office going on. Here we go. There we go, and we will be going through everything together, and then I'll do another separate video that I'll post just in the Blockchain Bulls Telegram about some coins. I've got some coins to look at. I'll give you, what I'm going to do is I've been going through, because there's so many coins to cover, right? Because now that we're in this altcoin, basically the just checking the microphone's still working. Now we're in the bull market, like we're well and truly in the fucking bull market. Bitcoin's all-time high in 120, and these altcoins are coming back. So to be able to go through and scan all these, look, I'm like scanning altcoins, for example. Have a look at this. Here we go. Scanning altcoins, for example, takes a lot of time, and things change. So you want to be able to have a proper look at certain bunches of them, like as you can see on the right-hand side here. So I go from 1 to, and the 1 is the 1000. So it's the coins that have moved that many decimal points or decimal places. I've gone from 1 to C. So if you've got any coins, you can bet that I'm bet to cover them, and these are some of those there up on the top. I'll be covering them in this next video. But for now, we're going to go through some news, some crypto news, some updates, look at some stuff, and then we will look at some charts, the main charts, and then I'll make another video where we just go through some coins, because there's some very interesting things that you could learn, and also some trades that are available at the moment as we sip. So first off, we're just gonna go through some news together. So if you're not interested in charts, just have a watch of this and then piss off. All right, here we go. Where are we?
I'm not going to be promoting crypto. So if you know, at most in a joking way, but if you see me pumping crypto, it's not me. You know, I do think there's some merit in, you know, Bitcoin and maybe some of the other crypto, and I sort of have a soft spot for Dogecoin, because I just like dogs and memes. Yeah, I don't know. On the X platform, there's, you know, pretty quickly things get community noted, or there's, in the replies, people say, hey, this is not real. So I think, you know, I don't know, we can work to try to have community notes surface faster, and also to, if similar videos are popping up, that the community note gets appended to any kind of similar video. But I think it's definitely always, one should be cautious about search for crypto. I would double check whether that is real.
All right, that was fucking waste of time. Sorry, but I was looking for where it says, I do think there is merit in Bitcoin. Did you hear it? I didn't, but I also agree with him about the Dogecoin thing. I've got a soft spot for Dogecoin as well. I just can't help it, man. Look at this. Coin Bureau, the world's biggest ETH holder, is buying more. Sharplink just sent $145 million in USDC to Galaxy Digital, likely for another big Ethereum buy. They don't even know, but likely. We're just saying likely. You can see here, there's some sleuths. There's a lot of sleuths that just spend the whole day. Could you imagine just spending the whole day on Twitter and the whole day on chain, if you will, just following all transactions, like as if it's going to give you an edge, and it could. Like I said, Kookaburra, it could give you the edge, but I don't know. There's better ways to get an edge, in my opinion. Here's a good one from Marty Party. Have a look at this. Ready? Oh my god, the fucking microphone. Sorry about that, the microphone. So I don't know if you're still there. Hey, look, let's go through that again. I've got to mute it and unmute it every time I swap. Okay. Bitcoin basics. Learn the Wyckoff patterns and the 50% pullbacks in a bull market. The Wyckoff spring was April the 6th. Each push up as a global liquidity absorbed into Bitcoin will be pulled back 50% by the exchanges to eliminate the leverage long traders. This pattern will repeat until the top of the business cycle. So what they're saying is leverage long traders almost always get liquidated. I'll explain more. The exchanges set the prices. The exchanges sell the leverage per futures and force those traders out before moving higher. High time frames. Bitcoin follows global liquidity. Low time frames use the liquidation level chart to monitor the leverage trading range and exchange flushes for small time frame timing. This is very, very true. Like what we're always doing, we're doing ranges, aren't we? We draw our ranges. We very, very commonly draw our ranges. That's one right there. See this? We'll get into this chart in a second, but this is one right here. So what he's saying is, it's more or less like this, okay? Everybody that trades leverage, nearly everybody that trades leverage, grabs that little stick and drags it to 50x or 100x or as far as they can let themselves, but maxes it out as far as they can. They start with the leverage first and they let the leverage dictate the stop loss level instead of vice versa. You got to let the stop loss level dictate the leverage. You got to choose your stop loss first and then let that dictate how much leverage that you can use. What happens is basically ranges grind sideways with large flushes. So as you can see here, so this is a range, right? Price goes up, finds a high, and then the range begins. This is the range right here. All this is the range. So goes up and then comes down, bang. See, all the stop losses below that, bang, done. Comes back up, okay? Boom, boom. So now you've got lows and all these going to be stop losses. There was stop losses under there, and now there's stop losses under here because everybody's greedy. So everyone's putting stop losses under here. Then it goes bang, hits stops. Stop losses under here, bang, hits those stops. And then time to go up. Okay, so there's multiple phases of stop loss hunting. Now we're up. Okay, similar sitch. Okay, there's going to be stop losses under here. Bang, hits all those stop losses. Comes up, gives time to create more stop losses. So stop losses get put under that. Stop loss put under that. Bang, more stop losses taken. Okay, so either it's going to do this again where it goes sideways for a bit and then bang, and then takes out stop losses under here, or this is the bottom. So you never know when this is going to be the end. So that could have been the end. It could have been like bang, okay, and then up. But then it's like bang, okay, then up. So you can work that out pretty fast by seeing whether or not it starts eating them up and starts working its way through them. That's what they're saying. Yeah, pretty much that. That's basically what it's just range trading. But it's just it's like I've said a few times on camera, especially, is that liquidation levels are everything. if you're trading with leverage, and if you're looking into the low time frame, if you want to get into low time frame, if you're getting like spot bags, holding the swings, no stop losses and shit, don't worry about it. Just fucking pick the right thing, get a good price, maybe ladder in and then ladder out. You're all sweet. But if you want to trade with leverage, if you want to trade hard, anything over 5x, 3x, 5x, 3 to 5x, 3x to 5x. 5x, your stop loss is going to be, it depends on the asset. So anything over 3x with like an altcoin, anything over 5x with like Bitcoin or ETH or something, then you're trading. You're in the game. You're in the arena. Because anything over 3x, your stop loss is going to be like, obviously 1/3 of 100, so 3x is going to be 33%, but then you've got the stop loss liquidation level maximization unless you're trading with the margin account, so then it can be 33%, but otherwise it's probably going to be more like 25% stop loss on 3x, and then if you're trading with 5x, it's most likely going to be like a 17% stop loss, or so it's like, bro, these stop losses start getting tighter and then they start getting hit, so you're in the game. You're in the arena. Do you like Ethereum? I still like Ethereum.
The real thing we have to recognize as we look at what's happening in the real world is that Wall Street is converging onto crypto, and they're choosing to do a lot of this work on Ethereum. The real thing we have to...
the thing about Ethereum, right, is that it's crazy how this has changed, because initially it was like the Solana was going to be the institution coin, but because institutions are so late to everything always, it appears like they're choosing Ethereum. So it's like retail has assumed institutions would go straight to Solana, but because institutions are so slow, they're going to Ethereum before they realize that they need to go to Solana. The world we live in, right? I was going to make this video last night, but yeah, went to bed. So green night, it was nice. Hey, get used to a bit of green. There's going to be more of it. Larry Fink, when he talk, just like what Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, what Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank says. When Larry Fink talks, you better be listening.
We believe the next steps going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stock. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. If you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own shares.
He gets it. He gets it. Do you know what he's saying there? So you got Bitcoin, okay, which is a form of storage. So storage and transaction, storage of wealth and transactional value, where you can send it to whoever you want with no middleman. That's Bitcoin. Then on other contract platforms, thus the name smart contract that you may have heard, smart contracts like Ethereum, they are programmable. And you can program these contracts, and that's why there's so many different coins with so many different features, because a smart contract can integrate smart variations into the contract. And that's what he's saying, is that it's at this point limitless, from our understanding of what the features could be that they could add to this smart money. Could be used for bad, it could be used for good. And, a bad thing would be the CBDCs on the blockchain, and then within the smart contract, when you go and try to spend your money at the butcher, it says you've bought too much meat this week for the carbon footprint. But there's a feature built into it, but it's it's like it's all automated. Like you could automate that, so there's no like rules or limitations on it like manually, but it's all automatically. Like there's features in there. Or for example, another feature of Ethereum could be, for example, if I do a NFT and then I put in there that every single transaction that happens on that NFT, when people send it from each other, 10% of it gets straight sent into my Ethereum wallet from every single transaction for its future indefinitely. And that's a feature that I could add onto that smart contract platform. So that's what he's saying, and he's talking about being able to buy stocks with it, and they'll be able to program it so it's all automated on the blockchain. So they don't have to do nothing. You know, you could just get paid your dividends. It could all be just all automated. That's what it's saying. So it's limitless, and that's the power of blockchain that isn't even completely unlocked yet. It sort of gets you hot around the collar when you think about it. What do we got here? The worst thing here is, listen to this. The worst thing you can do is let your extended family know about your trading career. First, they'll say you've no real talent or skills and just lucky. Then they'll ask for financial help non-stop. They'll never pack back. They'll never pack, whatever the fuck that means. Always ask. Always come up with new excuses to borrow. Then they'll, I guess he's saying they'll never actually try probably. Then they'll act like it's your obligation to give them money whenever they want. Not giving them money will be termed as arrogant or disrespect. No matter what culture, it'll happen to you. So let's just talk about the first part first. Probably just these two parts. Never let them know about your trading career. First, they'll say you've got no real talent or skills and just lucky. So just saying, like for me personally, because I used to share the big wins and the big losses with the missus and friends, and I just realized that, hey, just carry that burden on your own shoulders, because you're better off just keep it to yourself. Honestly, just trust me there. Just keep it completely to yourself, because I could write a book about it. I think you just keep it all to yourself. All the wins and all the losses, just keep it all to yourself. And you can, just trust me on that one. Just keep it all to yourself. What do we got here? Billionaire and Gemini fan, the Winklevosses. If you've been around for a while, you know the Winklevosses. They used to be main characters. They sort of slowed down. These boys avoided the main character curse by just sort of like stepping back. So respect to that.
True since day one, and so at 100, Bitcoin is gold 2.0, and that's been true since day one. And so at $100,000 Bitcoin, that's exciting. But if you take 21 million into the above ground market price of gold, really it should be $1 million a coin easily, and then some. So we often talk about baseball games as being sort of the metric for how early things are, and we're literally in the first inning. And let me tell you, this game's going to overtime. So
I don't know about you, but I've had people that have been like, tell me that they reckon that they're too early to buy Bitcoin, and then they'll go and buy gold. You just fuck. Like if you like the thought of buying gold, then you're gonna love the thought about buying Bitcoin. That's my opinion. All right, let's get into the charts here. Wasn't a hell of a lot of news, just a couple of little bits that we could cover. So starting off on the low time frames, as you can see here, we're getting blue bars. I'm getting some blue bars. So that means I'm meant to be putting a trade on. This is quite a difficult area for me, because typically if it hadn't taken out this liquidity zone, so you can see I drew these. So I start the line where I draw it, like on that day. Okay, so I drew this line on the 23rd. What is it now? It's 27th. So 4 days ago I drew this line, and as you can see, I was like, okay, it's going to continue down to this area, and look at the lows. Look where I put that low. Look where the lows are. Okay, this is easy because this is a liquidity zone right there. But what's hard, okay, is knowing which liquidity zone it's going to stop at. Is it that one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Which liquidity zone is going to be the stop of it. It could be this. So this is the first one. Or yeah, so it's tough right now actually, because it's either going to be like butts or just butts, or all the way down to the next one, or all the way down to the next one. Okay, it gets, you know, if this was easy, I'd be, I'd be in Dubai right now. Probably, I wouldn't be in Dubai right now. But it's not easy. But I'm just saying, liquidity zones are everything. Price magnets. Drag this down a little bit. Just didn't come. See, I just dragged it down to the bottom of that. That's a knot. So that's probably where it should have been anyway, which is basically where it was. For me, I'm going to have a little bit more of a think about this. Obviously, it's getting the chart's getting quite messy. See, this was the same sort of concept back then. And this is one other thing, is that your opinion's meant to stay dynamic, not static. Okay, so you don't want to have the same opinion and then just go down with the ship. You got to be constantly changing. You got to be constantly adapting, taking in new information, and then changing your thesis on what you think is going to happen, because and then if you've got a trade on, you've got to be able to implement that into the trade. Okay, I've changed my mind, I'm going to have to cut this loss, or I'm going to have to take this profit, even though I thought it was initially going to go much higher, which is really hard to do. So what I want to do now is just sort of drag. I just want to see sort of where we're at. I'm just going to see if I can draw some trend lines. This is a pretty tough spot, once we put it like this. I'm just going to change the color of this to white. And this trend line's sort of getting a bit hidden, so I'm just going to change it to a dash. Yeah, you can see here, right? So it is trending down. High, low, lower high, lower low, potentially a lower high. This is either going to be like, so when the markets open on Monday, this is going to be the point where it's either, more or less, whether it's either we're on and we've reached the bottom of the range. Because look at this as well, like we drew this. So obviously we drew this, see this range here, these lines, this is the G box. We drew this, before obviously I only dragged it out to here, so I haven't dragged it out to here, but look where the red is. That's the bottom of the range. Bang, bottom of the range. So either this range is completed and it's time to get moving, or it's going to go down even further. There's only two directions, up or down. Fucking pick one. Yeah. Yeah, I got a signal. Got my brother probably waiting for me to put a trade on. Is we going long or we going short? We'll look at a few other charts and see where we're at. Oh, look at Ethereum. This is Ethereum. Holy. Trending up. So we drew these boxes. We boxed it out. Look at this. We said, see, remember this? Who was around for this? This is a daily chart now. One candle equals 1 day. Were you around for this? Where we drew this? We're like, okay, it's going to take out these lows of this range. It's in a range now. Look at that. So, I start where it is. So I drew that. It's never perfect, but comes in, takes some lows. And then I'm like, okay. And look at this. What do you think the purpose of this is? So you've got from 10th of May all the way to 20th of June. 10th of May to the 20th. That's 40 days. 40 fucking days of people longing the absolute shit out of Ethereum and putting their stop losses where? Where, bruz? Where? Especially if you long to hit. You got to remember, people are longing and shorting every single second of every single day. There's so much trading going on. There was heaps of people that longed up here. Where do you think they're putting their stop loss? This came down 24%. That's basically taking out everybody that used 4x leverage or higher up here, around here, at the tops of these range. Anybody that used 5x leverage, anybody that used 5 was 20. All these people that longed all these pump up range highs, thinking that it was going to be, this, thinking that these were this, because this is inevitable. All these people that longed it with over 5x leverage, they're all done. They all got done. Crap, you know, that's where you got to. So this is typically, I mean, starting to range again, but look at this. This is already starting to range, so this could go down. You could just see the same shit. See this shit right happening right there? It's like the same old shit. Goes up, goes down, takes out the stop losses, comes back up, continues higher. The only times where it doesn't do this, where it's really, really dangerous and really, really bullish, is when it just goes high. I call it the grinder. I know it's a bad word because it's dirty word, grinder. But if you see charts that this is starting to loosen up a bit too much. But if you see the charts, you'll know. I'll show you when I see. I would have shown you plenty of times, but it sort of looks like this, kind of. Like this, like that bit there, and that. So it's like ranging, but it's just like, see this like a bit of a range right here. See this sort of range right here. It just does not make any lower lows at all. It just grinds up pretty much. It's just really tight candles, low volatility, and it just grinds up. Probably see it in the. Yeah, blue bars, see? Start getting some blue bars and it's just really tight and just grinds up. Literally just grinds up. There's no tomfuckery. It's just way too much buying. That's just a nice little knot. So you could, if this range holds, you could get prices all the way back down to here for sure. It'd be rare, it'd be hard, obviously, because now it's like 20% up. Like, look at this, let's drag it. It's fucking Ethereum's had that just an absolute stellar run. Holy shit, that's 30% to the highs. Anyways, just so I can stay true to that, something like that. But I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it'll take that long to do this. Let's just draw that again, so I'm not bullshitting you when I say draw it from the start. something like that, fuck it. So that's interesting, take that into account. Let's look at Solana. Solana's looking a bit more bullish. Big range all the way from February. Took out all these lows. You know what we've been saying about Solana, how if you can get it under this support line that's held for fucking since February 2024, if you can buy it under here, then you're just absolutely laughing. Nobody got the chance that second time. So now this just looks pretty bullish. I mean, it's broken up above this range. As long as it can stay above 176, 175. If Solana can stay above 175, it's money. It's actually probably pretty good long. And let's zoom in a little bit. I might jump on another Solana long. Ooh, blue barring. Look at that. About to. 1 hour blue bars probably. Oh, volatility is very low. Blue bars mean that a move's about to begin, right? It's about to start. Coming off the lows here. God damn, man, this market. That'd be a nice entry down here if you can get it. But as you can see, the stop losses, and then bang comes down, takes out these lows. Not a bad point. Personally, I've got an alert here. I might set the alert. That'd be an unreal entry if you can get Solana at 182 again. That'd be a treat. See, I'm gonna have to think. Some of these, obviously, like, I mean, I'm streaming right now, and I'm looking at the charts for the first time properly in a while, a couple of days or whatever. So it's like I'm thinking about it as we're talking. So I just don't have any definite. But you want to see the process of how we're thinking about it together, and you're talking about it and all that sort of shit. You want to be like, you want to see the process, or you just want to say this, and then Chad was right or Chad was wrong, or you teach the man to fish. I mean, that's concerning. Have a look at that. But it just hits all the stop losses that were above here. And above here, see? People put stop losses at significant points thinking that it's support. Support works. Resistance works, but it gets broken. So it's not a good place to put your stop losses, but it's a good place to expect the price to turn around at after the stop losses are taken out. You know what I'm saying, eh? Just like this. Just like all this shit. Support, people be like, oh, that's support. The blue line's support. Look at all the support. Comes up, boom. Bang. You know how much Solana would have changed hands right there? Millions and millions and millions. 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 Oh, Sui. Let's have a look at Sui. Look at that. Oof. Yeah, that's bullish. That's just heading up. Simply put, that's just heading up. Look at that. Grab the box. If Sui can start like this, start walking it, you know, so range highs obviously, if it can start sort of walking it, or stay, especially even stay tight, something like that, oh, this thing's going to go pretty high. This is a daily chart. Oh, so it's nearly at all-time highs. What's all-time highs for Sui? $5.30, $5.40. I don't know, man. It's, what's the dollar doing? DXY, American dollar, have a look. Still trending down. Good for risk assets. Happy days. Below here helps crypto pump. Long way below it. Still in that downtrending channel. Happy days. What about the stock market? Holy fuck, cunt. Excuse the French. Holy fuck. Look at that. Blue bars. Blue bars and grinding higher. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. Just doesn't get any lower. Zoom in a little bit on this 4-hour chart maybe. Still takes out some stop losses. That's what that's for. See the long wick comes out, hits everybody's stop losses that are under that. But still, lows, higher lows. On candle close, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Like, man, powerful. Price discovery. It's hard to bet against anything when the S&P's in price discovery, because what you would be doing then if you were shorting anything, right now, then you are betting on a market top, your top timing, because it's all global liquidity, it's all related. Okay, and if we come over here on the left and go to date range, and you go to probably here is where the market reversed, and you drag it along, you will see that the market overall, so the American stock market, top 500 stocks, has done nothing but go up more or less in its entirety for 107 days. That is 3.5 months. That is 3.5 months of up, more or less up. And so what, you think that you're going to go put a short on now and you're going to be successful because you're too scared to long it, because that after you think that you're special enough for it to be, or you're shit enough for you to long it right on the last day that the market goes up. Even it could stop going up in 3 days, and it's still 3 days of gains. Well, pretty much. I mean, in that case, maybe this was the bottom for Bitcoin. It's hard to imagine it going down to 113 now, isn't it? I'm picturing maybe a lower high here. I mean, a higher low, sorry. A higher low here. Starting to picture a higher low here. Double bottom. Oh, it's nice. We've got blue bars. We got a blue bar reset here. So that means stop loss will be, where are we? First blue bar, right at the top, right at the bottom of the red here. 1.7, begging for a higher low. So I'd just cop an extra, lose a little bit of risk just to get away from it. Let me see on the original blue bar before the reset how much further down that gives us. If the oh yeah, that's much nicer. It's just a bad entry. I think you're almost definitely gonna get some sort of higher low, or like, you know, try for another low. Like, it's very rare if it's just like that. It's just where sometimes you get a lower low and then it goes like that, and then you get a short higher low. I think I'm going to long it, but my entry is not going to be right here at range highs. I'm going to wait for a head fake. So I'm going to wait for and see how far this is going. I'd put a very high certainty on that all these stop losses under here are going to get done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a horizontal ray there with a alert for an entry. When it triggers this, I'll enter some of the position, and then I'll ladder entry more down to here, and then I'll have to have a think about it, but my stop loss will be either there or there. 115.4 probably most likely be there, and that's just dictated off 1.7 or 1.8 off the first blue bar. That's a blue bar reset, so technically I got to go off this one, but I've just, you know, I've been hurt before here, so I'm just sort of still adjusting things. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this video up, and then I'm going to go over to this one and talk about a few coins that look exceptionally strong or have interesting feats that are currently underway from the coins from 1 to C or D or something like that. Something like this, you know what I mean? Here's a prime example. 12-hour chart, blue barring, start of a fresh move, just come off the lows. I mean, you've had, what's this, grind down of from highs of 20-30% already. You've got a resistance here, you've got a range that's broken off, most likely be using it as support here. Momentum swinging to the lows. MOG fucks me what it is, but hey, look, it's been uptrending since 8th of April. Might be getting a relatively decent entry coming up here. So anyways, if you're interested in that, I'll make the video right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Some of the coins are Aave, AVAX, BNB, Brett, a few others. So we'll talk about it then. Ta-ta. Talk in that video that I'll post in the Blockchain Bulls.